Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi, on sign language, Elizabeth Nakakuni. Let's take a look at the headlines. Legislators advised colleagues implicated in the alleged corruption scandals to heed issued criminal summons. Uganda Police distances itself from the whereabouts of Usiki South MP Paul Akamba. UPDF denies allegations of linkage with DRC M23 rebels, and over 100 swimmers participate in the first annual Sailfish Masters Swimming Gala. Hello once again, let's dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has asked the institution of the church to continue sensitizing communities against HIV and AIDS, scourge which, according to him, has claimed lives of the country's productive people. The president made the remarks in a speech delivered for him by Vice President Jessica Alupo during a Thanksgiving service for the Right Reverend Kosea Odongo, 5 years since his enthronement as Bishop of Soroti Diocese. The event was held at St. Peter's Cathedral, Soroti Diocese. President Museveni commended Soroti Diocese for participating in community healthcare programs for immunization against the killer diseases, antenatal care for expectant mothers, family planning, and HIV/AIDS sensitization. He stressed that the revival which was swept through the church should continue to be rekindled towards socio-economic transformation.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni anwami nake kiraga ngeke bejeo diocese of Soroti.
Your Excellency, that I hand over this accolade to you so that you take it to His Excellency to show him that we appreciate his support for us as a diocese.
Papa yesi Papa Bishop Papa Aisha Mkine Papa President of Uganda, Papa President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
It is a pleasure for me to be part of the Thanksgiving service for the Right Reverend Kosea Odongo, 5 years since his enthronement and consecration as Bishop of Soroti Diocese. Today, we are thanking God for enabling his servant to lead the people in Soroti Diocese and all those that have been seeking his counsel in various ways. He has nurtured and led God's people, and the milestone he celebrates today is a testimony of wisdom and ability to lead and to learn and to lean on God for strength. I congratulate you upon the milestone of accomplishments since you are enthroned, and pray that you will continue in the same spirit of causing change for the benefit of all. I commend Soroti Diocese for their participation in community health care programs for immunization against the killer diseases, antenatal care for expectant mothers, family planning, and HIV/AIDS sensitization. We cannot thank you enough for the campaign against the HIV/AIDS scourge, which has taken most of our productive people and left child-headed homes. Continue to use every opportunity to sensitize the community through sermons, pastoral visits,
And 3 secondary schools in Teso sub-region have received 12 improved Frisian heifers from the Office of the Vice President to boost their agriculture practical classes as schools implement the new curriculum. The heifers were handed over to the beneficiary schools by the Vice President Jessica Alupo at a function attended by the head teachers of the benefiting schools. In her remarks, the Vice President said government is planning to have a broad distribution of animals to all schools across the region so that all the agricultural students learn the enterprise of dairy farming.
So the chaplain of the school, now even His Holiness the Pope said, when you are preaching, you don't preach for so long. You make the points very clear quickly, and the Christians understand, then you complete the Mass. So we are moving in that direction. So don't worry so much. I was here for the award ceremony of the stellar performers of Teso College Aloet early in the year, and among the so many requests that you made, one of them was a request to boost the agriculture department with practical inputs, and you specifically identified Frisians as one of the inputs which you need in the agriculture department. And when I was in St. Mary's, Madeira, in 2023, for again another ceremony for awards, the Reverend Sister, the headmistress, also made some requests, and she also specified Frisians. When I was in Ngora High School for the ICT run, where we were fundraising for computers, the head teacher of Ngora High School also raised requests, and among them was Frisians to boost the agriculture department of Ngora High School. Many of you know that we lost a Reverend Father also recently, Reverend Father Alex Ben Odeke, who comes from Katakwi. I got a privilege to meet them at home, and one of the requirements which they also noted to me from government was Frisians, so that they can have income to support the family. So today, we are specifically here to respond to those 4 requests by handing over 4 Frisian cows to Teso College Aloet, 4 Frisian cows to Ngora High School, and 4 Frisian cows to St. Mary's Girls, Madeira, and also to the family of the late Father Alex Odeke, 3 Frisian cows. So this is a day that the Lord himself has made, because it is written in the scripture that ask and you will be given, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open unto you. So the 3 institutions which are going to receive the heifers from government asked, including the family of the Reverend Father. So now students, I'm telling you, whatever you need, ask from God and God will give. Whatever you need, ask from Allah and Allah will give. We shall provide transport to people who are taking their Frisians to Ngora High School, also transport to St. Mary's, Madeira, and also transport to the priest's family. I don't know whether Teso College needs a transport also. So in NRM, we don't discriminate. There is no discrimination on the account of gender, on the account of religion, on the account of age, and in this case on the account of distance. So even Teso College will get transport to go from Teso College to Teso College.
Meanwhile, members of parliament have advised those that are alleged to have been issued criminal summons to comply and appear to avoid being forcefully arrested, like Busiki South member of parliament. This comes at a time when a list of members of parliament suspected to have been involved in corruption activity is circulating on social media platforms. Meanwhile, Luemiaga legislator Theodore Sechikubo, the mover of the motion to impeach 4 backbench parliamentary commissioners, has refuted allegations that he is selling his motion to the commissioners for 2 billion shillings.
Last week, a list of members of parliament was circulating on social media platforms with allegations that they have been summoned by CID for engaging in criminal activity. This comes at a time when members of parliament had gone on recess, and this is the reason some MPs say are not around parliament, but not that there were summons against them.
It is an environment. It is an environment in which we are in. You never know, because whatever goes on, somebody can maybe mention you. So as a person, you have to fear.
So I only call upon them to be reasonable Ugandans, to be leaders and produce themselves at police or wherever they have been summoned. Produce yourself. You cannot finish this case by running away. You cannot.
Parliament is in a recess. I am here because I had a meeting here. Parliament is in a recess. It is too early to conclude that members of Parliament are running away or not, until maybe tomorrow when we have plenary and see whether they'll come or not. But if anyone has been summoned to appear, just go and appear and explain your case.
On the brutal arrest of Member of Parliament Busiki County Akamba Paul, MPs say it was not proper since he had just been given bail.
Like, okay, anyway, let it happen to them. We've been speaking about these things and none of them was making a comment. I have not heard any of those members of parliament talking about the crude way of arresting ordinary citizens. I think when such things happen to members of parliament, then members of parliament wake up to their task. When they speak about it because it has happened to members of parliament, we should condemn it in the best way possible wherever it happens. Citizens should not be handled that way.
Either being a member of parliament or not, everybody should be arrested with dignity. Whether it's the member of parliament or not, the procedures are well laid down under the law. You have to summon the member of parliament through the speaker or summon him at his known address, not to simply go and abduct him in broad daylight. And
on the exercise of collecting signatures to impeach 4 backbench parliamentary commissioners who shared 1.7 billion as service awards. The mover of the motion, Theodore Sechikubo, says when MPs return on Tuesday, they will acquire the signatures to write the notice to the Speaker.
Those members who were hibernating in Nairobi and Dar es Salaam, you've come back, the motion is still open. Come and sign the motion. We have very few manageable figures, slightly above 10. And those are the ones who are waiting for.
He refutes allegations about selling the motion to commissioners at 2 billion Ugandan shillings.
We are telling you that nobody is peddling the list for payment. Nobody. Yes, we don't have the 2 billion ourselves. Honorable Singoma, Sechikubo, and my colleagues whom we are petitioning this. We are not selling the motion.
Member of Parliament Patrick Singoma, also a petitioner in the motion, says the negative information about the process is from detractors.
To push us off balance for their own selfish ends. And also with the motive of failing this motion to ensure that it doesn't reach the floor of the plenary.
Last week, a letter from the Office of the Clerk of Parliament indicated that the House will resume business Tuesday, June 18th, to make changes in chairpersons and deputy chairpersons of various parliamentary committees. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwitabinji at Parliament.
And Uganda Police has distanced itself from the whereabouts of the Busiki South County Member of Parliament Paul Akamba, who was rearrested on Friday at the Anti-Corruption Court after securing bail. Police spokesperson Fred Enanga told a police weekly briefing that the force is not responsible for the rearrest of the legislator and investigations into his whereabouts are ongoing.
There was drama at the Anti-Corruption Court in Kampala last week after court granted bail to the Busiki South County Member of Parliament, Paul Akamba, but was rearrested by non-uniformed armed men. Akamba and other 2 legislators were charged with corruption. Police have denied being part of the rearrest operations.
When I was coming here, what I'd wanted was basically to find out the whereabouts of Honorable Akamba Paul, but the information will come in later and I'll be able to share it in a short statement. So basically that is it.
The police authority has also denied the circulating list of legislators purported to be summoned by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations at Kibuli.
There is a correct method of summoning honorable members of Parliament, and I think it will be easy for us to get that proof when they are summoned. But you can't summon 30 MPs in one go. You see, I think there is also much propaganda that also pertains to that investigation that is going on. But once we get the right information, we shall give it to you.
Last week, police denied providing information for the arrested 3 legislators until they were presented to court. Meanwhile, police are investigating the re-emerging attacks launched on police posts and brutalizing of officers. In Buyende district, 8 suspects were apprehended for the attempting murder of Detective Corporal Godfrey Obonje, and these incidents have resurfaced in Paida and Otuke.
Suspects who formed part of an irate mob that attempted to lynch to death our police officer called Detective Corporal Bongi Godfrey and a parish intelligence security officer, Piso of Navisiki Parish, that is Mundire Charles. These 8 suspects also face additional charges of incitement to violence and malicious damage of a police motorcycle.
Police have established that unscrupulous individuals attack police posts and officers with the intent of stealing guns. Abdul Nasir Luvama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
And the Anti-Corruption Court has committed legislators Yusuf Mutembuli and Sisi Namuju to the High Court for trial. Court has also issued criminal summons against Paul Akamba to appear for committal. Prosecution told court investigations in the offense against the 3 accused persons have been completed.
Members of Parliament Yusuf Mutembuli for Bunyole East and Sisi Namuju, Member of Parliament for Rengo District, have appeared at the Anti-Corruption Court for hearing of their bail application. The case is before Magistrate Joan Yasiro. The accused's legal team prayers on bail was objected after prosecution led by Jonathan Muwaganya managed to have the 2 accused MPs committed to High Court for full trial. In the indictment read to the accused, prosecution will depend on Human Rights Commission Chairperson Maria Muwangadia's evidence, which includes the audios she recorded from the accused at Hotel Africana as they solicit the 20% and undue advantage.
One revealed to Ms. Wangadia that A3 was the crucial person that they had been waiting for. 18. That F3 immediately demanded to know from A1 and A2 how much they had asked Ms. Wangadia to pay, to which they replied that they were still waiting for her to arrive.
Other evidence will be the CCTV camera footages, which were got from Hotel Africana, where the accused met with Maria Muwangade asking for 20% to increase the commission's budget.
That the CCTV analytical report also shows that A3 arrived at Hotel Africana On 13th May 2024 at 16:31 hours, using motor vehicle registration number HON NCD and joined A1, A2 and Miss Wangadia in Elgon Restaurant. 29. That police further secured call data records, know your customer details, and card history for the accused person's phones.
Prosecution will also rely on 16 exhibits.
Call data printout for Miss Wangadia. 12. Miss Wangadia's consent to image her phone. 13. Digital forensic report in respect of Miss Wangadia's phone. 6. Police form 28 in respect of the motor vehicles used by the accused persons to go to Hotel Africana on the 13th of May 2024. Of the summary of the case has been read to the two of you. This court is hereby informing the two of you that you are hereby committed for your trial by the High Court.
After reading the indictment to the accused, Magistrate Joanne Asilo committed them to High Court for a full trial. Court also issued criminal summons against a Member of Parliament, Paul Akamba. Before committal prosecution, first amended the charge sheet. Members of Parliament Yusuf Mutembuli for Bunyole East, Paul Akamba for Busiki County and Sisen Namuju, woman Member of Parliament for Rengo District, are facing one count of corruption, which offense prosecution alleges that was committed on 13th May 2020 at Hotel Africana. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Meanwhile, police have disrupted the Leader of Opposition planned tour of the Luigi Wetland, where NEMA evicted over 1,000 people last week. Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Joel Senyonyi, was on assessment visit when police fired tear gas.
Police have disrupted the Leader of Opposition's planned assessment tour of the Luigi Wetland, where thousands were evicted by the National Environmental Authority last week. In company of other members of Parliament, the Leader of Opposition, Joel Senyonyi's assessment never yielded after police fired tear gas to disperse the crowds. Before the incident, members of Parliament interfaced with several affected people, but this was amidst tight security. Ruth Namudu, one of the victims of the eviction, according to some information from her land documents, indicated that she bought her plot from one Mubiji in 1992. Namudu has also been remitting annual tenancy dues to Buganda Land Board and was in the process of redeeming her land titles as promised by Buganda Land Board. Taibo Mukasa, also one of the victims, has been paying his annual tenancy rent known as Busulu to Buganda Land Board.
Tubasaba government mutulirire mu bibanja byaffe kubanga tulina endagaano zaffe tubadde tusasula Buganda Land Board.
In an interface with members of Parliament, the affected persons faulted NEMA for eviction without notice.
To be a wetland, the right procedure would require notification, and where possible, since these people were permitted to construct and raise up structures, there would be a resettlement plan or a compensation plan. We wouldn't have now this destabilization of homesteads.
They have further asked Buganda Land Board to guide on the paid tenancy rentals that they have been remitting.
Buganda Land Board yeganye okuvaayo ng'ate kimanyi munnansi na wano ebadde tujjako ssente yateete ne kyapa mu ngalo tubadde tutandise obikola ebiwandiiko ebimusize nabyo.
The Leader of Opposition, Joel Senyonyi and team, in an attempt to visit the site to receive the petition from the affected persons, was interrupted after police fired tear gas.
Lwaki omuntu omuleka n'ajja mu kifo abamu ne bufuna ebibanja naki n'azimba ennyumba n'ateekawo bizinensi myaka 3 myaka 4 abaana bakuze kati n'abazzukulu ne bayingirawo.
Everyone scampered for safety. The site remains under tight security with several key spots guarded to avert confusion. Under the Lubiji Wetland Restoration, NEMA plans to continue with evictions in all Gazette wetlands, and several structures have already been marked for the next demolition.
Why are you only targeting the poor? Why are you only targeting these poor and innocent Ugandans, the innocent vendors? Why are you demolishing structures, homestays, and living commercial structures? What is the trick? What is the rationale?
The National Environment Management Authority embarked on the eviction to restore degraded wetlands. Susan Naung and Juma Samba reporting for ABC TV.
And the UPDF Deputy Spokesperson, Kano Dewa Kiki, has refuted the allegations linking the UPDF to M23 rebels. Last week, there were reports linking UPDF as one of the collaborators with M23 rebels operating in eastern DRC. Colonel Dewa Kiki says Uganda needs peace in DRC more than those publishing unresearched, imbalanced and uncorroborated stories devoid of any academic discipline worth of reports. He says it is questionable as to why such false reports come at a time when the working relationship between the UPDF and the Congolese forces is at its best and the diplomatic ties of the two governments, Uganda and DRC, are cordial.
Some actors called the experts on DRC have issued a report or released a report implicating UPDF allegedly for supporting M23 and some other rebel groups in DRC. This is not true. In any case, we shouldn't have been operating with the DRC Army, the FRDC, on ADF or against ADF and Operation Shuja. We wouldn't be the ones under the East African Community Regional Force that operated in Eastern DRC to make sure that peace comes in that part of the world. So whoever raises a flag that we are supporting dissidents in DRC must be having other reasons why he's doing this. All of these reports issued since that time, they always issue them without any evidence implicating UPDF as supporting dissidents in Congo. These reports, we need to ask ourselves, why is it that they come out when our diplomatic engagements with Congo, when our relationship with Congo is at its highest? To date, we are having operations against the ADF together with the Congolese army. We are doing infrastructures. The government is doing infrastructures in DRC in collaboration with the DRC government to make sure that the trade between our people and the people of DRC can go on very well. Why these reports come now to make sure that they jeopardize this? That raises very many questions, and we don't know yet why such reports come up. We advise that anybody who wants to know about DRC should ask us. We know much more about DRC, Eastern DRC, more than these people who are writing seated in the chairs somewhere. So we are not going to give up. We shall continue focusing ourselves on the reasons why we are in Congo, why we are operating with Congo, to make sure that the East African region, the Congo, Eastern Congo, and indeed the entire of Africa
Taxi driver Nwagaba Isaac and 4 others have been charged with 4 counts of murdering 4 women at Chitende Magistrates Court. However, since the court lacks jurisdiction to hear charges against them, they were remanded to Luzira Government Prison.
The accused include Nwagaba Isaac, a taxi driver on Entebbe Road, Honest Tulia Semwa, Ndawula Godfrey, and Obed James, also known as Kanyankole. They were charged with 4 counts of murder in areas of Kajansi, Machindi Sabagabo, Ndejerubugumu, and Reza. The case, which was before Magistrate Fiona Birungi, prosecution alleges that the 4 murdered Nasolo Janina, Awoli Judith, Nangobi Sandra Deborah, and Nalubega Catherine, which offences were committed between 7th February 2024 and 29th April 2024. Prosecution informed court that inquiries into the case are still ongoing. Magistrate Fiona Birungi remanded the accused until 3rd July 2024, since her court did not have jurisdictions to hear the offences against them.
Omusajja ono ebintu bino byasala mumunyigirize muve mutuwolereze abitwala wa babasiga enziro ng'oluusi si mmwe basiga basamiza enziro bayinza okuba nga balina ebigendererwa byabwe naye muveeyo twogere.
Nakowe emisango gyaffe okubuzaabuzibwanga nga batubuzaabuza ku lw'abaana baffe abafudde tuteekamu ssente tuzinoonyeza mu bulumi okuweerera abaana ne tuweerera abaana ne batuuka egyo gye batuuse mu mayunivasite oli n'asanga omwana wo n'amukwata n'amuta sitatimenti zonna z'akola tezikwatagana okuva lwe twamukwata ye n'akwata engalo zettisa abaana baffe n'alya poliisi emuweweeta muweweesi bamugyako sitatimenti balinga abagijja ku kabaka. Abaana baffe tetwabaluma oyo omusajja talina baana oba bo bano abali mu gavumenti abamuwa abaana oba abali mu gavumenti oba abali luddabo oba abasawo abaganda tebalina baana baabwe.
To me, justice, we need justice for our daughter, our Judith, and to other deceased, those who died in the same way. We need justice. I know the government of Uganda.
The accused were remanded to Luzira Government Prison. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
And the UPDF has delivered medical treatment and healthcare services to citizens and the troops of ATMIS force contributing countries in Somalia. Let's take a look.
The African Union, together with the United Nations, advocated for the establishment of a joint force to liberate Somalia from terror attacks by Al-Shabaab.
3, 2, 1, go.
With the pains and wounds inflicted on the victims, ATMIS started a wide range of health facilities to improve health care for ATMIS forces and the Somali nationals. This is ATMIS Field Level 2 military hospital located at base camp in Beladin, Mogadishu.
They got some injuries in their places of work. Injuries from the forward operating bases, and we are handling them.
The Director Defense Public Information Brigadier General Felix Klaije visited the facility to assess its operation, and he was received by Captain Dr. Margaret Nasuboga, the commanding officer of the facility.
Our medical department has been very tremendous in contributing to the success of both AMISOM and now ATMIS. In fact, one of the factors that have endeared the UPDF to the Somali people is the medical services that they have been offered for free for the last 17 years.
The facility offers services to troops from the peacekeeping contributing countries of ATMIS and other beneficiaries.
We have Somali national civilian population that that are within our area of responsibility, then the force headquarter personnel and the mission headquarter personnel.
According to Captain Dr. Margaret Nansubuga, this level 2 health facility was elevated to modern standards recommended by United Nations.
Importantly, we have acquired capability, ladies and gentlemen, to deploy, according to UN standard, to deploy a level 2 hospital.
But there are challenges in performance.
In a few cases, we've registered some delays in air evacuation, and mainly this one has been attributed to weather problems, bad weather.
UPDF's spokesman Brigadier General Felix Klaije planted a tree to meet UPDF's initiative of conserving the environment.
In this country, with the few trees that had been planted by the Americans in 1993, and we undertook a campaign to promote restoration of the environment in this country, and the promotion of this desire to see this country green.
Meanwhile, UBC visited Mogadishu seaport, the largest in Somalia, which is guarded by UPDF. Nevertheless, despite being under UPDF surveillance, Al-Shabaab still attempts to attack.
The situation is still unpredictable.
as Artemis Forces is on a transition stage of operations in preparation to hand over peace and security control to the Somali National Force.
UPDF is the public relations officer in Somalia, Captain Ibrahim Kasule Sechito, shares the seaport's significance to the country.
And whatever goods are brought within this country passes through this port. You've seen the many containers, you've seen those ships offloading and others loading. Those offloading the merchandise being into the country and others offloading containers going back to the outside world being merchandise. So this is the economic hub.
Mwaiva Njuko, reporting for UBC in Somalia.
And Kamuli RDC Rose Birunji has lashed out at parents for failing in their responsibility, which has increased cases of early marriages, teenage pregnancies, and early school dropouts. She warned them against blaming their failure on COVID-19.
The Demographic Health Survey 2014 shows that Uganda registers about 350,000 early pregnancies, Busoga region 45,000, and Kamuli alone registered about 4,493 between July 2022 to March 2023. The figure places Kamuli as the second highest in cases of early marriages, school dropouts, and early pregnancies in the country. The Kamuli RDC, Rose Birunji, put the blame on poor parenting and not COVID-19.
And I put the blame on parents because during COVID days, parents were at home with their children. So how comes that these children were leaving the parents at home to go and engage in those social activities? So this goes back to the parents. We normally tell the parents to resume their roles and responsibilities of educating and talking to their children, not to engage in these activities as early as that.
Gender-based violence has become common, and the RDC cited the recent incident in Kamuli where a woman chopped off the man's genitalia. She advised couples to discuss their differences.
Soga region, okuzifumbiza abawana abatannatuuka. Olw'abaana abato abafuna embuto nga tebanneetuuka. Obaze bayita unintended pregnancies. Baliwa Kamuli yakumeka yakubiri. Tugenda netwekwasa ne tukisiba ku COVID yaleeta obuzibu. Ebiseera bya COVID buli muzadde yalinga waka.
RDC was at the pass out of about 700 patriots at St. Paul SS Mbulamuti. The school head teacher Samuel Watachala says the school has embarked on initiatives by various partners to maintain girls at school.
We are doing a lot of activities in the school. We are very much in charge of personal hygiene and the HIV awareness. We are doing crime prevention. Mr. Muziranga bwakobye. We make sure that children don't do crime.
Watachala says the school is further supportive of the new curriculum with emphasis in agriculture, science subjects, and embarked on addressing environmental challenges in HIV/AIDS. The patriotism program exposed students to crime prevention and political ideology.
An environmental program. The environmental club has been beefed up. We've made sure that children generally get information. They get literacy about environment and how to preserve it. We've adopted a tree planting project along the streets, in the school, in the compound, and we have emphasized the fruit trees because we think they are double-edged. They provide something to eat and shade, and also keep our environment clean in the community.
Charity Marion Imnat and Kata Sam, UBC News.
And member of parliament for Aring South in Yumbet district has urged students of Ariwa Secondary School to improve performance as the school has been equipped with 20 computers and internet to enhance research. Ariwa Secondary School was established by UNHCR in 2017 to ease access to post-primary education for refugee learners in Bidibidi refugee settlement camp.
My students work hard. You're in a rural setup. God has given you opportunity to have access to information where you can do research. You have the computers here, you have internet. The sky will be the limit.
Every year, MTN as a group does something called the 21 Day of Yellow Care. Gets into the villages, comes to the schools and does something for the society. So this year, we've also chosen Ariwa SS, okay, because they needed some support from MTN. We are supporting them by first giving 20 computers for them. Okay, we are also giving them 1 year of internet so that they can use the computer and the internet to do their research, to have fun, to learn more. Okay, we are also ensuring, because electricity is a bit of a problem here, we are also ensuring solar power for that lab so that the electricity is there for the lab for them to use the computer. We are building a changing room for the girl students, okay, so that they can have a more hygienic time.
We are now competing with other schools as well academically. The education is no longer as a protection unit, and this is evidenced by last year's performance in USCE, where we managed to score 18 points by one of our candidates in Senior 6, who was offering sciences, that is PEM / ICT. We only had 6 desktops, and these 6 desktops is supposed to support the 1,025 learners. And because of that, we had only limited learning of ICT for A-level section. With this MTN support, I believe even our O-level learners are now going to learn.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details.
Amanya gange nze Namtebi Sharon nga nkolera wano wennyini Saka Kirombe oba Makindye. Empangula gye nawanguddemu ssente mbadde nga nkozesa mobile money nga nsindika school fees w'omwana ku ssomero. Okutegeera nti mpangudde, nze mutima neegambye nti kambalinde bamale okujja ndyoke nzikirize nti mpangudde. Kyennyinza okubagamba nti si byabafere, weewaawo abafere gye bali, naye ennamba eri emu yokka, era bw'eba ekukubidde omanye eyo si yabafere. Mpulira bulungi nnyo era ndi musanyufu nnyo. Naye MTN mobile money mbebaza nnyo, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire.
Together we're unstoppable. Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow, the subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Welcome back. And now in business news, residents and entrepreneurs who had settled along Luigi Wetland in Nansana Municipality, Wakiso District, are counting losses after their businesses and homes were demolished by National Environment Management Authority, NEMA. A UBC crew assesses the after effects of the operation on business.
After President Museveni declared that all people working and living in wetlands vacate, residents and entrepreneurs formerly living and working in Lubigi wetland seem to have lost in billions of shillings.
Kalina yabaddawo emanju wange. Kalina ng'ogyeko ekizimbe wabula emmaali eyabaddemu ng'eweza biliyoni nga 3. Bayabaddemu generator ze batunda ng'erimu obugaali ng'erimu pampu z'amazzi nga yonna kalina ejjudde y'amayaliriro 3.
National Environment Management Authority NEMA implemented the directive demolishing settlements and property in Luigi Wetland, Nansana Municipality.
Wano mazeewo emyaka 15. Ndi mutuuze era ndi nabakyala aspiring nabakyala ow'ekitundu.
A small business entrepreneur, Judith Ayebare, owned a house which was her stocks store since 2009. She even holds an agreement.
Obuzibu bwe twafuna ffe twawulira nti bagenda kutumenya. Twawulira nga 1 week nga bantu babataddeko X abaasayidde eno. Neffe twali wagguluko tebateekako X. Kaakati nze nagenda okuva mu tawuni ng'ennyumba yange bakoze eki bagimenye. Ennyumba twali osulamu? Nga kuliko n'emizigo gy'abapangisa.
This location was a host to various micro, small and medium enterprises like food stalls, garages, carpenters, agro-input dealers, concrete product manufacturers, florists, to mention but a few.
Thousands of zips that were someone's stock for a shop that stood here no longer can exist because of the NEMA directive.
Nze wano baddewo n'ennyumba yange ng'eriko amaduuka 12. Naye abasajja bajja lunaku lumu nga mujjeewo. Watali notice yonna gye batuwadde.
Wano mu katundu kano kokka wano okuva ku Starbucks wali okutuuka ku poliisi wano ey'omu Lubigi amaduuka gabadde gasukka 30. Ne gonna wenjogerera tewakyaliwo yadde neeri.
What remains are now temporary makeshift micro businesses that are taking advantage of the mix-up to make earnings for the day. The NEMA demolition enforcement might affect more businesses in this vicinity, like the Nansana Municipality Taxi Park and 2 fuel stations in the neighborhood. Wadulo Arnold, UBC News in Nansana.
And cereal farmers in Bukadia district have been urged to use modern farming methods if they are to reap benefits and improve their household incomes. During a field visit and training of sorghum farmers in Bukadia district, Extension Officer also in charge of research in Nile Breweries Limited, Okot Justin, said no to poor farming methods, saying they affect farm yields.
Nile Breweries Limited has embarked on building the capacity of sorghum farmers in Bukedea district to realize better harvest.
Especially those ones who have grown the sorghum, those ones that we have been supporting over the years, to identify some of their challenges and further to give them the knowledge on how to grow this sorghum such that they can fetch the best or the optimum yield.
Okot Justin, an extension officer in charge of research, Nile Breweries Limited, says the training to the farmers also involved financial literacy and management.
They should have some knowledge on how to handle finance, like how to practice savings, to do budgeting, record keeping, how to do cost-benefit analysis. We train them, those are some of the topics, the budgeting. We feel that is important because it takes a farmer 3 months to harvest the sorghum. Then when you get the money now, in 1 or 2 days there's no money. We feel it's not good. So we feel financially they should be empowered, they should have the knowledge, they should know how to use the finance.
Bukedea district is famous for sorghum production, contributing to the Nile breweries, but farmers cite a dangerous weed that attacks the crop.
The striker is suppressing the sorghum. That is the challenge we have.
Rain may come and
the sorghum, instead of growing and producing grains, it may molt.
Akulira ebyobulimi mu disitulikiti y'e Bukedde ya Judy Ongota atubuulidde ku muddo guno naawe abalimi amagezi ku ngeri gye bayinza okugulwanyisaamu.
In a garden where striga is predominant, we don't encourage you to plant there cereal crops. So you now plant there leguminous crops like soybean, beans, and groundnuts. And also there is a pasture plant known as Desmodium. It also helps to weaken the viability of the striga seeds.
Most farmers want support from District Agriculture Department and other stakeholders in capacity building to produce quality sorghum.
And now in sports, Sailfish Swim Club has hosted the first Masters Swimming Gala, with swimmers of 25 years and above competing for the ultimate prize. The gala was at Amboseli International School.
There was an exhibit of talent, passion, skill, competition and fun as over 100 swimmers aged 25 and above from 9 clubs met at Amboseli International School for the first annual Sailfish Masters Gala.
The relevance of this event, we are trying to promote a healthy lifestyle. That's one of them. Swimming has been so much into the younger generation, that is below 20 years. But now we are targeting adults. I think this is the biggest turnout we've had ever since the Federation started hosting Masters events. It's our first as Sailfish, but the Federation has been hosting Masters events.
You know, we're trying to have the adults compete against each other.
Definitely not a professional, and it's a little intimidating, but it's also fun. Maybe I'd always teach the children at school to always give things a go and not give up when they get hard. So maybe being a good role model.
The Uganda Olympic Committee President Don Lukale, also a swimmer, emphasized the gala's importance to the growth of swimming in Uganda.
Masters is one of those events where we have swimming in age groups from 25 all the way. I think we have the oldest being 68 years. So we swim in age groups of 5-year bands, 25 to 29, 30 to 34. So it's a very good event. We have over 180 swimmers from close to 10 clubs. And it's one way of promoting swimming, but also a healthy lifestyle, keeping healthy. But it's not about winning. It's about taking part, join swimming or get a sport where you do sport for life, swim for life.
The host Amboseli Sailfish Masters Swim Club defeated Malta, Dolphins, Formidables, Aquatic, Our Saviour, Makerere University, Gators, Otters Swim Clubs, and were crowned the overall champions. In this non-qualification event, winners got trophies, shields, and medals. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
Well, and that does it for news tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. Elizabeth Nakakuni on sign language. I am Rodan Gonzi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Cheers to something refreshingly different. Putting the brakes on a fast-paced world. Slowing down. Just enough to stand out. Cheers to the beer that does it differently. Brewed longer for extra refreshment. Refreshingly Club. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Living a safe life is your right and responsibility in our communities.
They should have an eye checkup once a year.
First activity that we conduct is getting these young girls or women from the danger
that they are facing and bringing them into this home.
Most people, the skin doesn't go off. It stopped renewing itself about 5 years ago. We make sure we follow the skin cycle.
Join me, Ishime Kathy, every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. as we discuss matters of safety in our lives on the program Safe Life.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sematia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Be amazed the hidden treasure in a woman of substance.
As for still, father buys me the first car, a brand new.
Their experiences.
Yeah, really my eyes were so big, I was so skinny, I was so tall.
And into the women they've become.
Be
inspired by their transformation and their stories.
I had to take Mama Nakaunde and Dr. Bossa at home.
Super Soul Sisters, only on UBC TV.
Cities are the engines of growth and development, but as they grow, so do the challenges. Traffic, pollution and inequality can threaten the very fabric of our cities, but there are solutions. Urban development that prioritizes sustainability, equity and innovation can create thriving cities for all. Join Timothy Nyangweso with a panel of experts on Behind the Headlines this Wednesday on Urban Futures as we explore the latest trends and innovations in urban development. Don't miss, only on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us